Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Meek again. So I'm still in the middle of moving. Yeah, God, moving takes forever. But yeah, everything now basically is at the new property. I'm so excited, but we're still not finished here. So still lots of work to do. So I wanted to get out my video for Thursday, obviously, because I did that bonus video yesterday. So today we're going to be talking about the Big H price increase, and then we have some luxury YouTube hot topics I thought you guys would enjoy. I'm trying to look into the lens, it's so hard without the ring light. So without further ado, let's get started, because obviously I'm holding this with my hand, so just bear with me. Kelly 25, Chevre Cellier. I'm just going to quote the US pricing is now 11,400, so it had a $400 increase. The Constance 18 in Epsom is now 7,950. That had an increase of a few $100s as well. The Constance 24 in Evercolor is now $11,400, okay? Which is quite interesting because that is actually a 300% increase. So let's talk about the Evelyne. That one in Clémence is now $3,475. The Picotin 18 in Clémence as well with the lock is now $2,950, so it's basically $3,000. The Picotin PM is 18 centimeters ostrich. That one's 9,250. That's pricey. The Picotin MM in Clémence is now 3,150, and the Garden Party TPM is 3,600. My goodness, I mean, like, with the exception of the Constance and the Kelly, which are both quota bags, like, broadly speaking worldwide, except for the Constance in the US or whatever, these are like non-quota bags with like significant increases, like a few $100s. Something that I find like really annoying okay, about the Big H community is people like Big H always like, oh, it's not that bad compared to Louis Vuitton. And compared to, you know, Chanel or all of this. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but the Constance 24 has gone up by like $300. Like, a lot of LV's increases were like significant, you know, in that regard as well. But because this increase happened already for the US, I'm guessing it's also the same for the EU. If you're in the EU, Australia, Singapore, the United Kingdom, can you tell me some prices? I'd love to know. I'm more than happy to credit you. You know, if I do end up sharing the prices, I'd love to know. But the increases are very interesting. I think the increase of the Picotin is really interesting. The fact that the Kelly now is available in Chevre, that's quite a significant price point for Chevre, which is obviously goat skin. I think the Garden Party being 3,600 is really interesting. The Picotin MM in Clémence has actually gone up by 5%. It was 3,000, it's now 3,150. I think these are quite pricey, and I do think Big H's bags are really pricey anyway, broadly speaking, even the non-quota bags. I think I told most of you in terms of non-quota bags, I'm only interested in like the mini Ruli in exotic. So it'd be interesting to know like the exotic pricing. I'm very curious. So if you know the prices for exotics by like how much they've gone up by, I would love to know as well. So what do I think of this increase? First of all, I think all of these luxury houses, Louis Vuitton, Big LV Honey, Big C, Big H, I think all of them kind of watch each other and see how each other's prices go. Don't forget, Hermes did a price increase in worldwide, I believe, for like fashion jewelry and a few other bits and pieces in January. They actually did an increase, okay? And now they've done an increase again, also for fine jewelry, which I've already talked about, particularly if you're a member of the group or you follow me on Instagram, I'd already mentioned that. And now they've increased the USD prices for the bags. I'm guessing this is worldwide. I'm not gonna know, you know, unless one of you tell me, because I have been trying to find out the EU prices and I haven't with some luck yet. But yeah, all of them kind of do that. Like, all of them kind of do price increases. Please keep that same energy that you guys had for Louis Vuitton yesterday. Don't be like, oh, theirs aren't as bad. They're increasing their prices, okay? They've also, I think, done significant increases on their fashion jewelry prices. I was looking at some bracelets the other day. They're incredibly pricey, and I think it's worth us kind of noting that. So what do you guys think of the Hermes price increase? Make sure you fully subscribe to my channel, you hit notifications, and you like this video. We have so much more we need to talk about. I was telling those of you who are members of my Facebook group, and I've said this, I think I said this like a while ago, that I believe that there's going to be some sort of game for the non-quota bags. The non-quota bags, you know, everything that isn't the Birkin, the Kelly, and the Constance are very difficult to get at the moment. I don't want to hear too much about shipping all the time, because I feel like Big H also kind of use these as excuses to not offer quota bags to people. I believe they're going to be really pushing the quota bags on all of us. And even me, like as a tourist who's going to try again in Paris in summer, I wouldn't mention like the mini really in Paris, because I know that they're going to like offer it to you so that they don't have to give you a Birkin, a Kelly, or a Constance, right? So I think that all of these bags, these like non-quota bags, they're going to have some sort of pre-spend that is going to be required for you in order for you to purchase it. So I think bags like the Picotin and the Evelyne, in my opinion, are basically quota bags in all but name. In almost any jurisdiction, most of you have told me that you've done some sort of pre-spend to score that bag. I think if Big H requires a level of pre-spend to score a bag that's not a quota bag, that means that they have a plan for that bag. I know that some of this is also based on the region that you're in, the country that you're in as well. Some countries are more competitive than others, but broadly speaking, I think that Big H is going to be creating some sort of game for all of the non-quota bags. I think there'll be very few of them that you'll be able to get purely as a walk-in. Maybe the Veru and the Synthetic and the Gypsier, but I feel like bags like the Picotin, the Evelyne, the mini Ruly, you know, the mini Ruly, maybe a large Ruly, like maybe you could walk in and get that. But I even think the mini Ruly is not a guarantee that you can just walk in and purchase it. I think it depends also on the boutique, but maybe like the Veru, the Synthetic, the Gypsier, the trim bag, but definitely even like the Bolide in the right color, like that bag all of a sudden becomes hard to get. Or like, you know, like I said, like the Bolide, you know, that type of bag, you know. So maybe like the Cabas or the trim bags, those ones should be ones that you should, you know, get. Even the Her bag, that is not a guarantee that you can just walk into any boutique without doing it some sort of pre-spend, even if you're just buying scarves, and walk away with that bag. I think we're seeing massive changes. The price increase is just a part of the times. All of the brands are doing it. I don't want any of you to try and defend Big H, honey, because Big H is looking at Louis Vuitton. Big H is looking at Chanel. I do also think that this increase is connected to Chanel's increase of the classics. They did that massive increase. They saw that people still purchased. So Big H decided to also increase as well. I think that these brands are probably, they probably follow each other more than we think. A lot of you say that Big C wants to be Hermes, but Hermes watches Big C too. And if you look at this increase, if you read between the lines, Hermes is like, well, people will pay for Chanel bags and they're not handmade, so let's increase the price of our bags, you know, that are handmade. So I'll be really curious to know what you guys think of this. Those of you who like the Picotin, the Evelyne, the Kelly, those of you who like this Kelly 25 Chevron Cellier, what do you think of that price? Do you like it? I think the Constance is definitely also really interesting, the way it's gone up in price. Like the Constance, definitely, I think that there's a plan for this bag at the house, and I think that they really are going to be offering the bag a lot as well. A lot of you in the US have said that it's not a quota bag. I honestly think for those of you who are in the US, I think it's going to be a quota bag for you very soon. I don't have any proof for that. It's just my theory, but I could see it happening, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. Maybe not this year, but I think that they're going to create some sort of global parity for the Constance moving forward. That's definitely something that I could see happening, but definitely like the Evelyne, the Picotin. I haven't heard about people getting a Picotin and Evelyne like in the past 3 months, you know, in a really desirable spec without spend. Like I haven't heard that. And if that's happened to you, you need to say where you were, and don't be like, oh, I didn't spend anything, and then we found out that you bought like a click cage bracelet and a twilly. The way that they have priced the Kelly Cellier Chevra in terms of the increase is really interesting. You know, small bags are still very popular. I still feel though that bigger bags are coming back. I think if you are interested, you should definitely try and get like a Kelly 32 or a Birkin 35 now. I think if I was going to Paris today, I'd be very open to getting like a shadow Birkin 30. I'd be very into that in terms of the sizing. I think if you are open-minded, there's definitely an opportunity, because I do think bigger bags are coming back. I do think that Big H is going to be watching the launch of the 22 from Big C. I think Louis Vuitton is going to be watching that launch as well. It's launching, I believe, in it's launching in when is it launching? I think it's launching in May or isn't it next month? Or I'm tripping. I think it's actually launching next month or in April. So I think that they will definitely be watching that, because I think that it will end up kind of affecting the Kelly 32 and the Birkin 35. What is the thing that you want to buy from Big H this year, and how do you think that the price increase will be affecting everyone? Do you think that people will care? Do you think that people won't care? Or do you think it's just business as usual because you don't think that the increase is as harsh? The increase is not going to affect people who have SAs, but I think if you don't have an SA, you're definitely going to be spending more money, because you have to factor in the fact that you have to, do lots of pre-spend and buy bait. Some of you don't like when I say bait. So I would love to know what you guys think of the Big H price increase. So make sure that you tell me, and just tell me everything that you think. I'm very curious to know your opinion on the whole thing. I know a lot of you don't really care. You feel like Big H are entitled to do it because their increases aren't as harsh. Sorry, just fix that there. Their increases aren't as harsh as everyone else's. For me, I still feel like Big H are still doing a price increase. So I'm not going to let them off that easily. I know there are going to be those who be like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It wasn't like Louis Vuitton's. It's still a price increase. Let me stop you right there. Okay. So I'd love to know what you think about it. Okay. So now I wanted to talk about something which I thought was really interesting. That's been going on in the luxury community. There are these videos called like How I Afford Luxury. They're super hot right now. Like they do really well in the algorithm. Like for YouTube, they do incredibly well, and they get tons and tons and tons of views. What do you guys think about these like How I Afford Luxury videos? We were talking about them in the group. Honestly, I really don't like those videos. I find them very patronizing, and I find them very patronizing and condescending, like the majority of them. I don't watch them. Even if it's like someone who I like, I'm just not going to watch their video. I feel like on YouTube, there's a degree of people not really being completely transparent. And honestly, when it pertains to the whole transparency thing, I say be transparent, but be private at the same time if you're so inclined. Not everyone wants to sit there and talk about their life and kind of spill their guts to strangers on the internet. Those How I Afford Luxury videos, I think sometimes like they can be a little bit like they're kind of like talking down to the audience. I'm wondering, am I not in the target audience for those videos, or do I have like some truth to what I'm saying? I don't believe that you can like save your way to buying a classic flap, not today. I think you could do that a few years ago when the price increases went as crazy for Chanel bags, but I don't think that you can save your way to a classic today. I believe a small classic flap at Chanel, sorry, that was my mirror. I believe a small classic flap at Chanel in the US is $8,800. Like the smallest Chanel 19 in the EU is $4,900. I think these brands have done it on purpose, but it's really about like disposable income. I think even, for example, me, like you can save your way for a trip, but I wouldn't necessarily say that my husband and I saved for our Parisian trip. It was just something that we said we were going to do, and for us the issue wasn't saving for the trip. The issue was getting the visa, and the visa is like the cheapest thing that we paid for the whole entire trip pretty much. So I think sometimes those like How I Afford Luxury videos, they don't take into account the fact that people live very different lifestyles. There's some people who've inherited a lot of money on YouTube who do unboxings. There's some people whose spouses financially support them, and you know how I feel about that. I have no problem with that at all. And I think the people who are brave enough to say, look, my husband supports me financially, or my boyfriend supports me, salute to them, because I feel like they're being very transparent. And then there are people who are like me, people who have a business or a corporate job, but who are also married, for example. Or there are people who just are doing their own thing. They've got their own company, they've got a corporate job, and they earn a lot of money, and they are sharing the things that they have purchased. I feel like those videos, and this is just my, like I said, just my opinion. I understand that there are a lot of people who might be watching who might be like, well, I want to know like how to like afford luxury things, so I want to like ask them how they do it. I'm never gonna film that video because I feel like it's just incredibly personal, and I think that the decisions that people make to afford luxury are their personal decisions. I'm a little bit hesitant about those videos, even watching them, because I feel like they're just not completely there. Like if someone says to me that they don't do their nails, and they, don't do their hair, and that's how they save for bags. Like, I'm sorry. I have to stop you right there. I don't believe you, boo-boo, okay? Some of you will be a little bit annoyed at me, but I think it's important to make note of the fact that income is really the thing that plays a massive role here. It's really about someone's income and their investments and all of that. So I just wanted to kind of give a little PSA about those videos. I've already talked about it in the group. I do not like those videos. I find them very patronizing. And I don't watch them. And I definitely won't be filming like a video like that. As you know, if you follow me on Instagram, and also if you follow my Facebook group, I just achieved one of my holy grail dreams of getting my own swimming pool. It's the greatest feeling I've had. I've been on cloud nine. We actually had a pool party to celebrate Edwin's birthday. His friends came over, everyone swam in the pool. We're gonna have tons of parties. It was truly like a great feeling to know that holy grail thing has been achieved, and it is a luxury purchase. It's not a handbag, but it is a luxury purchase. So I'll be talking about it in my swimming pool tour video. I'll tell you like how much it cost and everything, because I know that stuff on the internet is quite opaque and people don't really talk about that. But I wouldn't do a video about like how I afforded my luxury swimming pool, because I feel like that stuff is just like super patronizing. Most of you know what I do for a living, and you know that I live in Tanzania, but you know that I have a company and stuff. So like people can infer from that what they will. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying people can't film the video. Don't panic. I don't want anyone flipping out in the comments, because a lot of my favorite luxury YouTubers have filmed those videos. I just don't watch them. Okay, I continue to support the luxury channels. I just elect not to watch those videos. I think those ones are a little bit excessive. I don't know. I just can't stand those videos. It's just way too much. I'd love to know what you guys think about those ones. What do you think about those ones when people say like, I don't do my nails, guys? That's how I bought this Birkin. That's $10,000. Guys, like seriously, when I watch those videos, I'm like, stop, you guys. How can you say you won't go to the salon and to do your hair? You don't like maybe do grooming, but you're gonna buy a $10,000 handbag. And don't get me wrong, because I know you're looking at me in this video like, girl, please. Okay, we are moving to the new forever home. So I haven't had time to go to the salon or to do my nails. I'm actually going to go to the salon because I got new hair extensions. So I'm really excited. So we'll be having a new hairstyle by the weekend. But I don't know about those videos, so I just don't think that's completely transparent or truthful. I feel like sometimes people say that, so people think that they are being relatable, so that people don't judge them for having a lot of money. I'm not going to judge you if you're balling and you're loaded. As long as you're humble and thoughtful, I will never judge someone for what they have or for what God has blessed them with. Like, that's not how I move. So anyway, I would love to know what you guys think about those videos. Do those videos help you? Do you think that they're helpful? Or do you really think like me? Do you think that they're, you don't watch them and you think it's about income? I think, honestly, I think it's about income. If you have income, you can go and buy things that you love and that are luxuries. And I think that's really it at the end of the day. So yeah, I would love to know what you guys think about that. There's something else I wanted to talk about. There's also a luxury YouTube thing. Remember in my video when I talked about like luxury YouTubers responding to comments and things like that. That was such a fun video. I read really interesting things from you guys. Well, let me show you the other side of luxury YouTubers responding to comments. A lot of the time, sometimes people leave like crazy comments. Like I got some crazy comments the other day, like super crazy. And people like leave crazy comments, but with their like Instagram handle. So their Instagram handle matches their YouTube channel. So someone left a crazy comment critiquing how I looked, dragging me for how I looked in one of my Hermes unboxing videos. And then I went and found their Instagram, and I'm thinking this whole time, I'm like, you better be Beyonce, okay? You get me? Like, you better be Nicki Minaj. And the whole time, you're not looking like the Queen Bee, honey. You're not looking like Nicki Minaj. So why are you coming on my channel to have a massive go at me? And you're actually doing it from like your Instagram account. So sometimes when you're watching a luxury channel and you're like, oh, that person hasn't responded, that person might not be responding because they don't want to read crazy comments and really, really nasty comments that people leave on their page that can be super, super hurtful. Let me know if you find these luxury hot topics interesting. And yeah, I might have another one on the weekend. If you're interested, you let me know. So I have so many cool videos coming up. Big H have released new colors for 2022, so I'll cover those. I have my luxury swimming pool tour video with a whole budget and everything. And I've got some really fun videos also coming next week. So I hope you're fully subscribed and you hit notifications and you stick around. Don't forget to join the Facebook group. It's incredibly fun there. And follow me on my new luxury Instagram as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.